You didn't answer me about the costume today.
Yeah, I'm changing the subject. Do I have to answer every single thing that you want?
Eric von Markovic, or Mystery, is considered by some to be the greatest of all time of picking up beautiful women. The guy who made pickup a part of our culture. Others consider him to be a misogynist weirdo creep that insults women and tries to demean them in a weird way to trick them into liking him. It turns out there's not much, but there's actually some footage of him approaching women in real life. And in this video, I'm going to check that footage out and analyze it to see which camp is right.
You didn't answer me about the costume today.
Yeah, I'm changing the subject. Do I have to answer every single thing that you want? Who the hell are you, Missy?
For those who don't know, the costume, as she's saying, is something called peacocking. So he's wearing some pretty garish clothing, and he's also, I think, like 6'4", and he wears platform heels that make him like 6'8". So he's getting as much attention as possible, and some of that attention is going to be negative. Like this girl is going to be probably insulting his fashion choices. But attention is a currency, right? If you're getting attention, you can use that. And I don't go this far with peacocking, but I'll wear like a red leather jacket or something that's just, a little bit out there. I have a friend who he wears feathered earrings, and that works really well because girls will come up to him and comment on it. And he's taking it all the way to a 10 out of 10. And yeah, it's a little bit weird, but if you can get attention, you can start making things happen. And if you get people reacting to you, that's going to help because a lot of guys, they just can't get any social interactions going. So if people are looking at you, paying you attention, it has value. Although I'm not necessarily saying you need to dress up like some crazy magician with Quidditch goggles and all that. But it's not completely insane what he's doing.
Sarah fucking Garrett.
Oh, really? Sarah who?
Garrett.
Sarah Garrett. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Eric. You want my last name? You won't remember it. It's von Markovic. As am I. What do you do for fun? I'm sorry I met you here, but I love the antagonistic attitude.
Where would you normally be? What do you do? What do you do?
I'm a glorified bum. And but I'm in Hollywood with purpose.
Missy your cane. And you have.
So he said he's a glorified bum, which is a little odd because one of his principles that he talks about a lot is DHVing versus DLVing. DHV is, the nerdy pickup term for demonstration of higher value. DLV means demonstration of lower value. So DHV, if you can let a girl know that you have, let's say, a Tesla Model S and your ex-girlfriend was a model without bragging, that's a DHV. It shows higher value. But saying you're a glorified bum on its own sounds like a DLV. So it's kind of weird he said that. Maybe he has a follow-up that makes it make sense, but that's kind of funny because it contradicts one of the things that is part of the mystery method. Also, though, you can tell the girl is very intrigued. And he has a vibe where he's giving the girl room to pursue. And it's partly what he's saying, but it's also he's just letting the silences hang. He's not coming across as needy or pushy or overly excited. There's a bit of, you could almost call it like self-loving narcissism kind of energy, which is something women are very good at having, but they're also very attracted to in a weird way. It's something that men usually don't have. This I'm already good enough on my own and like maybe you'll entertain me is kind of the vibe I would describe it as. And that's something that really attracts women, partly because men don't have it and partly because I think women are fascinated with their own sex in a way that men aren't. Like women are fascinated by their own appearance and by other women's appearances in a way that men aren't.
More eyeliner
You could say they're the more narcissistic sex.
than I do.
Which, you can call that misogynistic, but look at Instagram.
Yes, that's true. I do. What does that say? Yeah, they're black nails, Missy, not pink. Don't go there. My brother, he's 4 years old. So that's his whole thing.
I heard it.
Okay, well, if you have to run along. Anyway, before you rudely interrupted me, my get this, my nieces are 11 and 12 years old, all right? My youngest niece, she's 12.
So I like that he said, if you have to run along, he's saying it like he doesn't care, right? That's fine. If that's what you need to do, go do it. And he's basically using her objection before he uses it, or before she uses it. I remember there was a girl I ended up hooking up with not that long ago where I said during the interaction that we were not going to have sex. That's something that women say all the time, and they often change their mind later. There was an experience with a woman where she said, we're not going to have sex 4 times. And then I was making out with her on my couch, and she said, are you going to fuck me or what? Right? So oftentimes they'll say that, but sometimes they'll change their mind later. But that's an objection you'll get. And if you take those objections, you're kind of flipping the script and putting her in the role of pursuer, which is appealing to women because they so rarely are in that position, right? They're used to men just chasing them, being too needy, being too pushy, all these kinds of things. And whenever the opposite happens, that's going to be intriguing. That's going to be exciting. And that's going to get them emotionally invested in the idea of seeing you again or hooking up with you or whatever.
Her name is Caitlin, but we call her KK.
Oh, wait. Answer this.
Yeah, I'll get to it. Yeah.
No.
Because it's, you know what?
She looks like she's going to be on her way. That's my friend, because we're supposed to go to Skybar.
Right. Think in your head.
Help me out.
Do you have a middle name, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, think of your middle initial. Just picture it. Look at me. So this isn't like a favorite psychology thing or something. It's just a fucking guess.
Okay.
All right, what is it? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
So that was an example of frame control. She's trying to talk about something that he doesn't really want to go down that thread, as it's called. He doesn't want to go down that. So he's just changing the subject and basically taking the leadership role as opposed to being in her frame.
I'm not telling you my middle name.
You're just your middle initial.
R.
What are the statistical probabilities of my getting this right or wrong?
I don't know.
What are they?
Steal my wallet?
Thanks. It's just a guess. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you totally hurt my elbow here.
Okay.
I love psychology. I'm a student of it, and there are like 300 different like circuits in your head all interacting with each other, and there's this predictive ability that everybody has. Some of it is more intuitive than others. I'm fascinated by that because you're a very analytical person, but at the same time, I guess there's some spiritual side to you. You seem more somehow.
Saw that?
So this is cold reading, and it sounds, basically it's like astronomy, right? He's saying things that pretty much anyone is going to agree with. She does kind of seem analytical, so that might have been genuine, but he's saying things that pretty much anyone is going to agree with, but that make it seem like he's very perceptive, which, in a sense is kind of a trick, but it's something that can still be effective.
Are you a spiritual person?
Yeah.
I'm not a religious person, but I'm spiritual.
Okay.
Is there a difference to you?
How'd you know that, though? How'd you get the initial?
All right, so somehow he guessed her middle initial and, probably some kind of magic trick I'm not familiar with. Using magic and illusions and that kind of stuff, does it sound cheesy? Yeah, I would say it sounds cheesy on the surface. Can it be effective if you're doing something like that or, making something float? Yeah, it's going to get intrigue. It's going to get attention. And if you have attention, you can use that. Most guys struggle to even get a girl's attention. If you can get a girl or her entire group interested in you by using something like an illusion or magic or making it seem like you're psychic, that definitely has value. That is definitely useful. Do you need to put in the hours and hours of effort to learn magic tricks and stuff? You don't need to, but could it work? Yeah, it can work.
Have you ever made a guess?
Yeah.
Have you ever guessed correct? How does it make you feel?
Lame.
Lame? Makes you feel good, doesn't it? Sure. And that's how I feel all the time.
What's that?
I'm an illusionist, a magician.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you. I'm not even here.
But why do you wear this?
I don't know. 'Cause it's Friday night and I'm out to have fun.
Want to stand out. Which is why
you know what's weird?
Which is why sometimes I will wear a sticker on my face and look like I'm 5 because I want to stand out, and that's okay.
I like things like that.
I just don't go quite as far.
I respond to childish things like that. Introduce me to your friend. That's a polite thing to do. Come on.
Mr. E.
Mystery. Hi.
Mr. E.
My real name is Eric, but all my friends call me Mystery. That's my stage name. Nice to meet you.
I like Mr. E.
Mr. E.
Mr.
What's his name? Eric.
Do that song, Mr. Lee.
Don't do that. Don't just touch. This shit ain't for free.
Oh, touch my freaking ass.
Okay, so you owe me double what I owe you, so you still owe me $5. We totally fight. Like
Who fights?
well, she and I we like each other. Are you okay with this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I condone
so
it.
I'm very sorry I met her here.
I gotta get to know you.
A part of me is actually very sorry I met her, but she's very witty, very clever. You're very clever. You know what though?
She'll tear you to shreds.
I've eaten girls like her for breakfast.
You think so?
I
Huh?
have.
You've just gotten to know her then.
Really? You want me to show you my hair?
Yeah.
Promise not to swoon?
Don't promise not to laugh. I do promise not to laugh.
Confident enough to know you won't be laughing at this shit?
Oh my god. No. It doesn't work for me.
The hat? Get out. Place it on. On a serious note, it actually does work.
It actually does work.
It makes you look playful and not so domineering and yeah.
Is that a made-up word?
Hmm?
She does.
Something called a dictionary. It'll help you out. No worries. You're adorable. You totally suck. I hate you. She's such an asshole to me. Like, it's like, I'm just going to have to get
more frame control, more teasing, more nags, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, the pop culture frames this kind of stuff as being, you know, weird and manipulative. But what most guys do is constantly compliment girls, like her no matter what she does, no matter what she says, constantly chase, pursue validation, etc. And if you see the way the girls are reacting, which one do they react better to? When the guys are like pushy and needy and, you know, being the nice guy that they're told they should be, that's like the proper way to do it, it makes women just uncomfortable on a gut level. And him doing this, which is very much intentional, but he's showing that I'm not pushy. I'm not needy. I can have fun. I can let loose. I don't take you too seriously. That's what's being subcommunicated. She's reacting much, much better.
Are you used to this? Is she always like this?
Yeah.
Is she always like
You
this?
guys will, yeah. You'll warm up
so
to it.
It's like,
You'll learn to dig.
I'm ready to take my pummeling today.
Yeah, take the back seat, my friend.
Don't feel it. You have a very strong personality. Where did this develop? Were you beaten as a child or something? Don't answer that. I don't want to know.
Beat with reeds.
What's that?
Beat with
Beaten
reeds.
with a big lung.
Get your switch.
With a willow switch, exactly.
You go get your switch. That's how it is with her family.
How long are you roommates?
Man, she had to get a switch.
Are you roommates?
No, we were freshmen year. And we may be soon. Yes, hopefully we are. It's in the works. It's in the works. Yeah.
Very good.
Stuff happens. Yeah, don't let the charm fool you.
Weird shit happens.
Yeah,
You know, like timing and not like always
not
wants
as
to get a
smart
fight.
as I seem.
You know, so I was driving on a freeway.
but-
It's the eyebrow raise.
But
ready to go
there
buy a
is
bike, like a nice Harley or
there
something.
is
And I'm
hidden behind all that filth.
And the
You're very classy. You have a class to you.
And I'm appreciating it. Oh my God! All of a sudden he loses control, gets thrown off his bike on the other side,
So how old
smacked
are you
with
there?
another car. I was like,
Yes.
I cannot get on a bike after seeing something like that.
37.
You're such an asshole. Forget it. I don't play with you.
You're not gonna walk away though.
I don't want to play with
You're
you.
not gonna walk away.
No, but I'm going to sit away. At some point in our rapport building, you're going to have to turn off the asshole and turn up the sweet princess inside you. I know you've shoved your deep down your throat and your little black heart is barely beating. But at the same time, I'm sure that there's a diamond in it. It's got a still thing. Okay, ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
looks like he kisses her, and I'm sure he got her number. They don't show all that. He doesn't have a lot of infield. But I think there's a lot of things you can take from this. The most important one is that everything he's doing kind of is the opposite of what society tells you to do, and yet it's clearly working much better. Second is what he's doing is very technical, right? It's very on purpose, it's rehearsed, it's practiced. And yet, would I say he comes across as like the most authentic person ever? No, but he comes across more authentic than most guys who are just trying to be natural. So it's important to be aware that yes, being scripted has problems. And when you're new to it, if you try anything scripted, it'll come across awkward. But if you do it enough, it starts to become authentic. And that's the thing that people really don't get about authenticity is that, anything that doesn't naturally come to you is inauthentic. Well, then if you're not good with women, approaching is going to be inauthentic. The first approaches are going to be stiff. Going for the kiss is going to be inauthentic. Asking for a girl's number, teasing a girl, making a statement of intent, leading, any of those things are going to be inauthentic at first until you've done them a number of times and then you get comfortable with it. Well, the same thing is true with the way you talk, the things you say. Teasing may be inauthentic to you at first, naturally, but if you practice it, if you do it enough times, it'll start to come across as congruent and it will expand basically the options you have. Because a lot of guys are stuck in this tiny little lane of nice guy, a friendly guy that never makes a move, or sometimes it's of the guy who's being a jerk to overcompensate. Whatever, they have a small lane, and trying different things opens that up. And the key to getting better at pickup is not being too rigid, right? Not being closed to trying different things that might not feel natural at first. Now, this doesn't have to be memorizing tons of lines. It doesn't have to be memorizing fake stories, but it does mean doing things that don't come easily to you, right? Things that at first might be uncomfortable or feel awkward, but once you start doing them, that will expand your personality and you'll start realizing, oh, when I pull back, instead of always going forward, when I pull back and leave the girl room to pursue, to invest, then I get much better reactions and much better results. For example, so this infield's good, right? It's definitely a lot better than, I could name names, people like How to Beast, Dave Parada, a lot of guys who all of their interactions are literally just, hi, you're cute. Where are you from? What do you do? Would you like to go on a date? That's something. It's better than not approaching, but definitely Mystery has a good idea of what he's doing. There are things I disagree with him on, like the idea of the 7-hour rule, where basically women are going to feel totally comfortable with hooking up with a guy, not until 4 to 10 hours. So 7 hours on average. I don't agree with that. His method seems to mostly focus on going for the number rather than ever actually going for the pull. I don't agree with that. The extreme peacocking, I think, is a little bit much, but the idea that women think he's really weird and unappealing and creepy is ridiculous because clearly he knows what he's doing. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you want to learn about working with me in person, where I'll take you to actually go out and approach women like this in real life and get you over any approach anxiety you may have so that you approach 50 to 100 women within the course of 3 days, even if you've never approached before in your life. I've had many clients who've never approached and yet on the boot camp are able to do dozens of approaches and in some cases even pull for the first time in their life, get on multiple dates, things like that. If you want to learn more about my in-person coaching, click the link below to schedule a free call with me.
Just the idea of cold approach, like it never crossed my mind that I could actually do it or like people will do it or if it will work. But so that's why I decided to take a bootcamp with Avery because I watch his videos and like other coaches and I'll be like, man, I wish I could actually do that. That's just crazy. So I decided to take action and come to his bootcamp. And man, like I gotta say, it was hard at the beginning. Like it is scary to go out and approach, but he gave me direction. Like every time I approach, every single approach, he told me what I could do better, what I was doing right. And well, at the second night of the bootcamp, I ended up going home with this girl, which she said she was a model. And I don't know if she was, who cares? We ended up sleeping together. I've never slept with someone by doing cold approach. But yeah, it was pretty fun. So yeah, I recommend coming to these boot camps. It's actually worth it, believe it or not, but it's worth it.